What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today this video is going to be doing predictions for games going on Thursday, March 14th. Got a lot of good games going on today as all these big time tournaments are continuing. But before I get into those picks, I'm going to go ahead and do a little recap. A lot of games happened yesterday. We saw NC State get a win over Clemson in the ACC tournament. Virginia Tech, 15-point win over Miami. We also saw Nebraska in the Big Ten tournament advance along with Illinois. Also saw Syracuse get a hard-fought win going up against Duke tonight. Without Tyus Battle, though, could be trouble for them there. St. John's won, which means we get a rematch of St. John's versus Marquette. I'll be talking about that later. Oklahoma lost in the first round to West Virginia. What a disappointing season for them. Just really a letdown, a much better team than how they played. Never really got up to par of where they could be at. Also saw Louisville advance. Providence absolutely rout Butler. Butler, a disappointing season as well. I thought a very talented team that underperformed. We also saw TCU get a hard-fought win over Oklahoma State, a team that is going to need, I think, a win today to get in. But that's my recap, so now I'm going to go ahead and get to my picks for tonight. First game I'll be talking about come from the quarterfinal of the Big East tournament. Providence going up against Villanova. Saw these two teams face off twice in the regular season. Villanova won both of them, one by 6 on the road and the other one by double digits at home. So I do like Villanova. They have not been playing their best basketball recently. Providence has been very inconsistent as well. But overall, I like Villanova. I think Jay Wright's going to get them a good game plan. I think they're going to shoot well. They find a way to win at times. They get hot, I think they can go out and win this Big East tournament, just the way they shoot the ball. So I do like them to get the win in that one. Next game we got going on, NC State going up against Virginia. Virginia favored by 10.5 in this one. Going up against NC State, who came off a close win over Clemson in the round before this in the ACC tournament. You got to like Virginia in this one. I think they're going to get a double-digit win. We saw these two teams match up earlier on in the year. Virginia got a 1-point win in overtime on the road, but NC State is a different team than they are now. Virginia is as well. Only 2 losses on the year coming to Duke, and both of those. You got to like Virginia in this one. I think they're going to get a double-digit win. They've been shooting the ball extremely well recently, so I like the Cavaliers. Next game I'll be talking about come from Indiana against Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. Second round here. Ohio State defeated Indiana in their only matchup of the season by 3 on the road. Different team in Indiana now, though. Got a little bit of confidence going. 4 wins in a row, including wins over Michigan State, Wisconsin. They can play with some of the best teams in the country. We've seen it early on in the year from them with wins over Marquette, Louisville, different teams like that. So I do expect Indiana to get this win. Ohio State, Caleb Wesson is returning for them, but he's been out for a little bit, so I think he's going to have to adjust. I do like the way Juwan Morgan's been playing recently, so I like Indiana in that one. Next game we got come from Iowa State against Baylor, quarterfinal, Big 12 men's championship here. Baylor defeated Iowa State in both the regular season matchups between these two teams. Both teams have struggled recently, both on 3-game losing streaks. I do like Baylor to get it right, though. A team you can rely on a little bit more, in my opinion, just because of the way they can crash the glass and the way that they can get points down low. Going to have to do a good job defending Iowa State from the 3-point range. I think they do it. I think Baylor's just got what it takes, got a lot of grit. It's going to be a hard-fought win, but I do like them to win over Iowa State. Next game we got, a good one here, one I'm looking forward to. Number 16, Virginia Tech, and number 12, Florida State. Going to be a really fun one. Saw these two teams match up just a week ago. Florida State getting the win in overtime over Virginia Tech. I think Florida State is going to do the same thing in this one. Virginia Tech still without Justin Robinson, point guard for them. So I think Florida State is going to find a way to force some turnovers against a team that's without their point guard. I also like Florida State, their ability to run off pick and rolls and lob it up in the air for Kabengele, different guys like that. So I do like Florida State. I think their defense is just going to be too much for Virginia Tech. Next game we got come from TCU going up against Kansas State. Saw these two teams match up twice in the regular season. Kansas State won both of them by double digits. TCU coming off a 3-point win over Oklahoma State in the first round. I like Kansas State in this one. Their defense is playing extremely well. Also, they do a good job matching up with TCU, like I've said earlier on. I've held them way below their season average, and both times they've matched up. So I do like Kansas State. Barry Brown Jr., Dean Wade, Xavier Sneed. I think those guys are going to play well for Wildcats. So I do like Kansas State to win that one pretty handily. Next game we got come from Nebraska going up against Maryland. Maryland won both regular season matchups here. Only beat Nebraska by home, but that was when Nebraska was healthy. Ultimately beaten by 15 when Nebraska was struggling. Nebraska's lost their last 11 of 15 games. They are really struggling without Isaac Hope in their forward for them. So I do like Maryland in this one, especially at the forward position where Nebraska is weak. I got some of the best forwards in Bruno Fernando, Jalen Smith. I like those guys to have a big game against a weak front court for the Cornhuskers. So I do like Maryland to win in that one. Favored by 4. I like them to win pretty handily as well. Next game we got come from Missouri going up against number 22 Auburn. Auburn is favored in this one by 8.5. Saw these two teams match up earlier on in the year. Auburn was at home, won by 34. Missouri, though, has the advantage coming in this one. In my opinion, just got a little bit under their belt yesterday. Got a win over Georgia. Found out what it's like to shoot in game in the Bridgestone Arena. So going to be a tough task for Auburn, but ultimately I think they're going to get it done. I think it's going to be a close battle, though. Still without Austin Wiley for them. So I do like Auburn to win, but I think it's going to be a tight battle there. Next game we got Louisville against North Carolina in the quarterfinal of the ACC tournament. Saw these two teams match up twice. Louisville routed North Carolina on the road, and then North Carolina got a double-digit win over Louisville on the road. So this is going to be a great game. These two teams match up pretty well. I do like North Carolina in this one, favored by 7.5. They've been playing extremely well, won 7 in a row. Arguably one of the hottest teams in the country right now. Luke May's playing on a different level. Cam Johnson's shooting the ball extremely well, but Kobe White's been the difference maker for him. I like him to win that battle in the guard play against Kristen Cunningham. He's been playing extremely well, like I've said, so I do like North Carolina to get a win. Hard-fought win, though, over Louisville. Final game we got come from Texas, going up against Kansas. Big 12 quarterfinal. Kansas and Texas matched up twice earlier on in this year. We saw each team get a win over the other, but I do like Kansas in this one. They're going to have to stay out of foul trouble, however. Ozakowski and Hayes could produce some foul trouble down low for Lawson, but he's got to play most of the game. But if he does, I like Kansas in this one to get the win and advance in this one. Next game I'll be talking about come from West Virginia, going up against Texas Tech. Quarterfinal Big 12 tournament. Two teams matched up twice in the regular season. Texas Tech won both of them. Won a close game against West Virginia on the road when West Virginia was healthy. Ended up routing them after they lost a couple players. So I do like Texas Tech in this one. I think they're going to win this one pretty handily. Their defense is too good for that inexperienced West Virginia offense. We've seen them struggle a little bit without those other guys that they lost, and Ahmad and a couple other starters. So I do like Texas Tech to win this one. Favored by 12.5. I think they'll win by 15-20 in this one against a weaker offensive team in West Virginia. Next game we got, one of the best games going on today is St. John's against Marquette. Marquette's lost 4 in a row now, going up against a St. John's team that got a big win over DePaul in the first round of the Big East tournament, going up against Marquette. We saw these two teams match up twice in the regular season. St. John's won both those games. Marquette is struggling too, lost 4 in a row. Going to be a great game. Really looking forward to it. Marquette favored by 2. I think they're actually going to get it done. A lot of people I think are going to be picking St. John's in that one. I think Marquette's going to bounce back, but it's going to be a heck of a game in that one. Next game we got come from Syracuse and Duke. Final game I'm talking about. Quarterfinal ACC tournament. Looks as if Ty's battle for Syracuse will be out. Saw these two teams match up twice in the regular season, split those matchups. Duke was never really healthy in those games, though. They're going up against a Syracuse team who is not healthy now. Duke favored by 11. Got Zion Williamson back for this game, looking to bounce back after a tough stretch. I think they will. Coach K is going to get them right. Really want that matchup Friday night, Duke UNC once again. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, subscribe if you have not already. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. Have a great day watching college basketball. Follow my Twitter and Instagram, Hilly Hoops, if you have not already. But like I said, thanks for watching. Have a great day watching college basketball.